Friends, you all remember our well-known ROX 01. All the bloggers, wannabe bloggers, amateurs, and in particular some of our colleagues. Why do I say colleagues? Because these are reasonable people who understand what they're talking about, but there was an expectation that this car would be discontinued, that it would be taken out of production, and the company would neither move forward nor back. So no one got it right here. The company is growing, continues to develop, and is releasing new cars. In particular, after the ROX 01, they released an entirely new car, the ROX 01 ADAMAS. And there are a lot of advantages here, a lot of things that the regular ROX 01 does not have. And today we're going to tell you all about it. Let's go. Hello everyone. This is Topaz Company. Everything is at Topaz. This is another one of our videos already in 2026 about a new product from Paul Stone Company. This is the ROX 01 ADAMAS. Today we'll tell you in detail what's here, show you everything, and also do a test drive, take it for a spin, and see how it drives in the updated version. What's new here? There's a full menu in Russian and there's an export version in Russian as well. The entire menu is in Russian, there's a master account, and the app is also in Russian, so you can use it. All the doors have soft close mechanisms, on 5 doors in total, on all the side doors and the rear door as well. Its length remains the same, 5,050. That's its length without the spare tire, but with the spare tire it's 248 millimeters longer, so it ends up being just a bit longer. As for the rest, in terms of height, it has become just a little bit lower, 10 millimeters lower. In terms of width, it has become slightly wider by 10 millimeters, so basically nothing has really changed. It has air suspension, adjustable ground clearance, and there are also 2 versions available. There are 6-seat and 7-seat versions, and the seats in both the 6-seat and 7-seat models have remained the same, just like they were in the previous configuration of the regular ROX 01, so they are in the ROX 01. Absolutely nothing has changed. The only thing is that the space has been raised a little bit. The 3rd row of seats is higher now, so you don't have to sit as if you're on the floor, like in a basin. By the way, that's a big plus. I think that's really good. The exterior has remained the same, almost unchanged. They changed the grille here. They changed the front part, this grille, and the lower one as well. Otherwise, the look has stayed the same. Well, I think it's very beautiful, very futuristic and aggressive, just like an SUV, a real Jeep. If you compare it, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is the Range Rover. On the outside, it also resembles a Range Rover, but it's much more affordable, much better in quality, and in all other aspects, electronics and everything else, it's definitely much better. There are 12 cameras all around, wheels are 275/45, R21, Pirelli tires or ventilated discs, dual piston brakes. The maximum ground clearance is 324 millimeters. For an additional fee of 6,910, you can install automatic running boards. Also, all the windows are triplex and very thick. Pay attention, both in the front and in the back. There are roof rails on top of the doors, and you can also optionally add a roof rack. From the back, the look of the car has remained almost the same. Take a look. The new spare tire is nicely done. I like it. It's all metal, just a bit of plastic. If you wish, you do not have to install this spare tire. If you leave it out, there will be an extra compartment there. I think it costs about 6,000 extra without it, or you can choose to have it without the spare tire. By the way, the car's length will be 5,050 millimeters. You can also install a tow bar for 2,399. No problem. There's also matrix lighting at the back, very beautiful, the same as before. Nothing has changed here. Inside the trunk, take a look. Everything is standard here, nothing new. A repair kit, jack and all that. The charger comes included for free. The floor mats are also included for free of charge. There is a function to fold down the 3rd row seats, and there is another function as well. Look, you can lower the trunk for more ground clearance. Now on this side, there's a little surprise. Let me sit like this, take a look. First, we have a 220 volt outlet here. Here it is. Take a closer look right over here. At first glance, it might seem like there is truly nothing remarkable or special here, but pay very close attention and watch this right now. What do you think this mysterious object is? Can anyone take a wild guess? It clearly says ROX right here, but it is definitely not just a simple band, not just a small piece of cloth, and certainly not just a common rag. Alright, I won't keep you guessing. Let's move on. Look here. It's a flashlight, a headlamp, that's how it works. It has different brightness settings, plus a signal light. Everything can be attached. It's really simple. You just hang it up, turn it on, and go. It's a convenient feature, especially if you need to change a tire or get stuck in the mud, or if you need to jack something up, lift it, or just to go into the woods or simply to go out in nature, grill some meat or light a campfire somewhere. It's essential. It's actually very convenient and really necessary, especially for those who love to travel or spend time in nature. For those who go hunting or fishing, it's an essential and very handy thing to have. You can wear it on your forehead or use it separately. See? With different options. There you go. That's it. I think it's great. That's a plus. It attaches here with a magnet and it just folds up right here like this and it closes easily. There's a pocket here. The door has a standard latch and it just closes. By the way, the door here is really tight and it doesn't, as you can see, it doesn't wobble in the slightest. And even if I try my very best to slam the door with the maximum amount of force, look closely, it just doesn't work because it remains completely stable and secure. Let me show you again. Here, you see, right? It doesn't slam. It's very solid, very heavy, but you can close it with just a gentle motion. Just do it like this, and the soft close mechanism pulls it shut. All of this is a big plus. It's good, it's pleasing, you can't help but be happy about it. Look, the suspension is rising. You see, we closed the trunk and it lifted up regarding the chassis. We'll talk about that later when we do the test drive, but for now, let's move to the interior. Let's see what's inside. By the way, this version is currently the only one available. It's a 7-seater, and in the 6-seater version, the seats will be the same as in the previous model. Yes, like in the ROX 01. The 6-seater will have the same option, these same seats, but this is the 7-seater. It's the same as in the old version. The same seats remain in the new version as well. The only difference is that the seat padding in the Adamas has become much better, much denser. Let's move inside and take a look, as usual. As usual, friends, let me share my personal impressions from inside the car. By the way, there's a mark here. Look, the center, the steering wheel, it's D-shaped. People often ask why the steering wheel is D-shaped. It's actually convenient, especially when getting out of the car. When we get out, you see our leg doesn't catch on the bottom. By the way, the doors here open like this, mechanically, not with a button, which is convenient and high up. In fact, I raised it to the maximum height. I could lower it, yes, but if I move the seat back, I can barely reach the pedals with my feet at all, so I either need to raise the seat or move it forward. Personally, I like to sit high up so I have a good view. I drive like this, at full height, as long as I don't hit the roof, of course. The steering wheel is adjustable for reach, toward you, away from you, and also up and down. The reach is standard, at its maximum. Like this. It's mechanical, unfortunately, not electric, but mechanical. Screens, 2 displays, 3 displays. There's the central display, the instrument panel, and the rear monitor. 15.7 inches. The front and 15.7 inches for the rear. 2 wireless chargers at 50 watts each. A standard gear selector. It's convenient, compact, and purely minimalist. No unnecessary extras. 2 cup holders. Here we have a button for drive mode selection, suspension up and down, a standard glove compartment, Type-C and USB ports, and there's a fridge in the back. We'll tell you a bit more about that later when we move to the rear. Here is a standard glove compartment. Overall not very large, but the inside is lined with fabric, which makes it convenient. Here there's leather on the armrest and genuine leather on the steering wheel and sun visors. The mirror has a standard color, or rather, it has a single light. The rear view mirror is without... Oh no, it does have a camera. That's a camera here. This is a video. While the rear view camera turns on and off, it displays on the screen with the monitor on the wall. Everything. The sunroof, or rather the panorama roof, closes here and opens here. There is no sunroof, no head-up display, and also no driver fatigue monitoring sensor. Why? I don't know. The steering wheel, let's look. The buttons are not touch sensitive, they're convenient, good. The horn is good, but they've disabled it so it doesn't go off while everyone's sitting on the seats. So, in the first and second rows, there is heating, ventilation, and massage. In the third row, for now, there is nothing. The backrest is also adjustable, and the seats right here on the side, but not for height. Most likely only there is side support for the passenger, or rather, for the driver, it is there. The child lock is located there. There is also a lock here, as well as a child lock. There's this little knob for adjusting the mirrors. Here we also have a hollow console. There are 2 Type-C ports. Well, actually, that's how it is. It's nice that it's not glossy here, so there are no reflections or glare. When the sun is bright here, look, it's very convenient, very nice. By the way, that's a real plus when you're driving. If the sun is blinding, it doesn't reflect or glare. The display is responsive. It's an in-house development, not Huawei's. It's very good, really, though I wouldn't say it's super fast. By the way, the track width is extended both in the front and the back, but it's quite good. There are hotkeys, a menu, and a function that can also be downloaded in any app. It's available here as well. Here we can also change the mode. There are tent modes, and we have the level for tilt and battery lift, all displayed on the instrument panel. Basically, just like in all electric and budget modern cars in China. Now I suggest we move to the back to see how much space there is, since a lot of people here are really concerned about that. For some reason, people are worried about it. Sunglasses holder, if I said it right, I'm not sure, I might be mistaken in Russian. That's just what the guys from Russia call it, a sunglasses holder. The sunglasses holder is right here, above our heads, to the left of the driver. It's a case. I call it a glasses case. I don't know why it's called a sunglasses holder, but let's just go with that. Maybe we've just lived in China for too long and don't understand something, but that's not a big deal. Let's go to the back and see what's there. The headrest cushions also come free with the set. Friends, we've seen the seat as I explained. Yes, I raised it all the way up, and now I'll move it all the way back to the very end. Please take a moment to notice this. I just realized myself that when we carefully lower the backrest of this specific seat, now pay close attention to the seat base of this seat, you can see that it also automatically slides forward and then smoothly moves back into its original position. Honestly, Pyrrhus saw something like this. Well, okay, there's a handle here to help you get in, so let's sit down and take a look. We adjust it for ourselves, just the way we like it. Look. Here I am sitting. There's still space, there's room, and that's even though I moved this seat all the way back and raised it all the way up. Now, there's enough space, it's sufficient, but I can still move even further back if there's no one sitting behind me. But if anything, you know, it's even more comfortable. Look, there's enough space for more than 2 fists. The handle here is also mechanical. There's an air vent for the heater and air conditioner lighting, a touch sensor instead of a button, a handle, a speaker, and a hook. There's a display, as we've already mentioned. And you can even adjust its tilt all the way forward, all the way back. You can accordingly fold it down or turn it off. Here's the climate control display. Climate control. 2 Type-C ports at 60 watts and a refrigerator. With a heating function, of course. It's spacious but standard, basically like everywhere else, but it's roomy. I wouldn't say it's small at all. That is, you can also buy additional accessories, put them in, and it turns into a kind of shelf. There are such things available. We have one like that in our car, and you can fit a lot in there. Fruits, water, so that your sparkling drinks stay cold. So, take a look at all this. This is the 7-seater version. As I mentioned, both in the old version and in the Adamas, the 7-seater and 6-seater versions have the same arrangement of seats. But the seat padding here is much better and firmer. Here the leather is really firm. It's tough both on the backrest and the seat. Well, let me show you the technology, so to speak. On top there's Alcantara, and here in the 7-seater, the seats are completely minimalist. There's nothing here, not even cup holders. By the way, where are they? There just aren't any here. Well, I don't think that's the most important thing in a car, but there are spots in the doors where you can put things. So I don't think this should be made into some kind of problem. Let's move on and adjust things so that it's comfortable for the passenger to sit. By the way, there are no tables here, neither on the left nor the right, just regular pockets. Now I'll try to move to the back, to the 3rd row of seats, and let's see how much space there is if someone is sitting there. Let's say, for example, children are sitting there. Look, Dad, this is exactly how I'll clamber inside. Yeah, it's right up against it. The seat is lowered all the way right up close. It would only be comfortable to ride like this, but it won't be very comfortable for the other person. But you can move a little bit forward. Yeah, you shouldn't be greedy or pushy, especially if you need to travel a long distance. Or you can seat children there and guests or passengers here. You can no problem. But as a rule, I'll repeat once again, for those who are about to start hating, big hello to you. We love you, we appreciate you. Thank you for leaving us comments, because without you, our chat isn't very active, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we thank you. That's why there are children riding in the back. Adults sit in the second row in front. And here you have a seat back recline adjustment function. As you can see, it lifts up, and there are ISOFIX connectors both on the left and right. There are cup holders, and there's a cup holder in the pocket for your phone. There is also an air conditioning vent for the third row, as well as touch-sensitive buttons and touch lighting. More precisely, there are also speakers for conversation, and that's basically it. Here we have a headrest, and it doesn't extend out. Nothing special. Everything is done simply. Everything is, let's say, stylish and straightforward. But it seems like everything is minimal. Everything you need is here, and it might feel like you want something more, but on the other hand, why do we need it here like this? Everything's fine. There's no need for anything else. So the question is, they've simplified things, made it better, removed some things, but added others. One thing replaces another. Nevertheless, the car hasn't become worse. But unfortunately, it's not available right now. There's no 6-seater version, unfortunately. Why? Because they only brought the 7-seater. I never really liked the 7-seater, even the old model, because these captain's chairs here do not really impress me with how they look. But in the 6-seater version, there will be captain's chairs, just like in the previous model. Now, those were impressive. Here, there's an instrument panel. Here, there's a seat control panel with all sorts of functions. I think you've seen our review of the old previous model. You can check that out and compare. What else do we have? The price. The price has remained the same. And once again, I want to mention the entire multimedia system is fully available in Russian. The multimedia system is here, and there's a Russian version. Also, the most important thing is that in this model, they've added the master account function. This means you can use the app on your phone to fully control all the car's functions, including seeing its location, locking and unlocking, climate control, moving the car forward and backward, and much, much more. So that's a big plus, since unfortunately the previous version didn't have this feature. There are also automatic door closers. In the previous version, when we sent the car, we had to install the door closers ourselves. If I'm not mistaken, I think it cost around 800 yuan per door to have them installed. Here, they come factory installed on all 5 doors, 4 side doors and the rear door, which is also a big plus. The running board is also installed. On the old version, we removed the tow bar and then put it back on because it was unclear why it was removed. Here there is a tow bar. Yes, it is installed, and as I mentioned earlier, it costs 3,299 yuan. The running boards cost 6,999 yuan. The automatic door closers are included for free. The floor mats are free, the charger is free, and the headrest pillows are also free. So that's how it is. That's why I think it's worth it. It deserves attention. And most importantly, let me show you. The fast and slow charging port is on the right and the fuel tank is on the left. There's also the ROX Royal Edition available. There are some minor differences in the body, the wheels, and significant changes in the interior. You can see this in the photos. Friends, as for accessories for any car, absolutely any car, especially if you bought your car from us, all these accessories are available. Hoodies with the car's branded logos, sweatshirts and so on, pillows, headrests, hats, backpacks, mugs, tea sets, basically umbrellas, everything you can think of. And this is just a small part, just a little bit. Just clothing and so on. We can also send all of this to you. So don't hesitate if you need anything. This is available on every car. Get all your outdoor and all-weather gear here. We ship everything directly to you. This is standard on all Chinese cars except Toyotas. Don't hesitate to reach out. We'll deliver it. As for the suspension, friends, as is standard for everyone now, double wishbone in the front, multi-link independent suspension in the rear. Everything is standard, classic, and it all works. And we'll see how it works right now during the test drive. The suspension features standard front and rear independent setups. We will now test its performance on this route to evaluate its capability. It's slippery, there's sand, and the incline here isn't exactly small either. What won't you do for a test drive? I barely made it up myself. It's slippery, there's sand, and the incline here isn't small either. What won't you do for a test drive? Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Let's look over here. Pay attention to the approach angle and the departure angle. And of course, we'll watch for body roll. Let's go. Let's try it first. Come on, don't fail now. We didn't make it because traction control is on. Let's turn it off and try again. We eventually made it up with the help of the traction control system, but the important thing is that we still did it. There will be some incredible footage coming from the drone overhead, and now we're going to see exactly how it performs, demonoes. Right here in this challenging off-road section, we'll go up right here to test the limits. Overall, the car is definitely moving forward, but honestly, we still haven't quite figured out the exact way to turn off this complicated traction control system. It's really getting in my way and hindering my progress. I really don't like driving with it active. But at least here in this specific location, it's not strictly needed because, as you can clearly see, there are some very steep climbs and challenging descents ahead of us. We definitely won't be able to make it through those deep pits over there because this vehicle isn't a 200 series model. While it might not be a V12 or a Mercedes G700, we're certainly going to try to have some fun with it right now. To put it simply, what we have here is not exactly a standard heavy-duty off-roader. It is more of a city SUV that can go to places where a regular car simply can't, but it also definitely can go where a true dedicated off-roader can. Nevertheless, I truly believe that this particular vehicle performs its intended job quite well. Now we're going to head down this way. By the way, let's do this. Take a quick moment to look over here at this detail. See how it slows down by itself. Let's give it a try. I am going to set it up like this so that you can clearly see the road ahead. By the way, I'm not pressing the brake, it's doing it automatically. This automatic downhill descent function works without me pressing the brake. See, my foot is off and it's going down alone. Great feature. How useful this feature actually is in practice. Well, you can decide for yourself whether you really need it or not, but still, it is here and it is certainly not redundant. It brakes entirely by itself and does absolutely everything for you. And I'm not pressing the brake pedal at all. Look, my feet are completely off the pedals and the car is doing everything on its own. I really want to go all the way down to the very bottom using it. Yes, it is exactly like the ABS system kicking in, see? It is managing the descent perfectly entirely on its own. Honestly, this is the first time I'm using this function. The very first time. But it's cool. Impressive. Now let's probably turn it off. Yeah, it doesn't let you slip or slide. Honestly, this is the first time I'm using this function, but it's cool, impressive. Now let's turn it off. Let's try driving and listen to how the suspension works at speed. You can see here it's like a rough, uneven plowed field, right? Yeah, the struts do bottom out a little bit. There's a bit of a noticeable sharp jolt, but that's just how it is out here. People usually ride horses in this area. What the heck are we even doing driving a car through this? Well, whatever. Oh wait, you know what? We're actually driving at the absolute maximum height right now, which is 230 millimeters of ground clearance. Take a look right over here. Do you see that? Now, let's go ahead and set the ground clearance. Oh, wait a moment. We can even do it exactly like this. Could you please switch it to driving mode? Notice how the car is slowly lowering itself down. Right here you can also select, let me show you clearly, the specific suspension mode, which means you can choose between a much stiffer or a significantly softer ride. By the way, there is also a dedicated recuperation mode available. Here they are right on the screen, 3 different levels of them. Up until this very moment, we actually haven't had the opportunity to properly test these 3 specific driving modes out on the open road yet, so we are going to take the time to check every single one of them right now. Alright then, let's get moving, let's give it a real try together, my friends. So as you can see, now we are finally out here driving on the road to see how it performs in real-world conditions. Now we'll measure the noise insulation. So far, I like how it drives. It's comfortable, smooth, and by the way, very quiet and confident. As for the recuperation mode, by the way, we've set it to the highest level. I wouldn't say it's really noticeable here, but it's a bit weaker, although it's basically the same as on the LiXiang, exactly the same. Here there are 3 recuperation modes: medium, strong, and the lowest. As for the road, how we drove at speed, on the dirt where horses used to run, you'll see, just watch. You've probably already seen it, or you will. There are adjustments for stiffness, sport, comfort, and standard. On asphalt, it swallowed potholes and joints well. You'll see how it handled dirt tracks where horses run. The driving experience differs from the Lynk & Co 09 or Zeekr X naturally, since this has a 1.5-liter engine and generator. Comparing it to traditional 2.0-liter internal combustion cars isn't appropriate. When we drove the AIM Hierro 800, I actually felt a bit sorry for it, to be honest. So, halfway up on the ROX 01, we climbed a little hill. Unfortunately, we were going up with the traction control system on, which meant it would not let us spin the wheels, but even so, it pulled through. It did a good job. In fact, I was already thinking about rolling back down, but I decided to see it through, and we kept going up. So, what else is worth mentioning here? Well, you can really feel the comfort of the ride. It drives well. I like the handling. I like it. I like how it drives. I like how it basically feels the road. Now we're going to pick a spot, accelerate to 80 kilometers per hour, and check the sound insulation. But to me, it seems about the same as in the standard, 61, 62 decibels, I think it will be. So, it won't be surprising, it won't be anything new, but still we need to check, it's worth testing. So now we'll find a place where there are fewer cars, since it's evening. Everyone is currently coming back home from their long day at work, so we will definitely have to look around for a good parking spot. We will surely find one very soon. Let us watch carefully now. We are gradually accelerating the vehicle up to 80 kilometers per hour. There is a bright traffic light visible just ahead of us. Well, basically the speed limit was 60. Yes, I think so, if I am not mistaken about it. We will check that again right now. We are going to make a turn here and then try to accelerate the car to more than 80. Now, if only it were a high-speed road, well, as you saw, it jumps a little at the joints. You can hear the joints, and when you drive over manhole covers, you can hear them a bit too. But overall, if I'm not mistaken, it was 59, which is good. That's much lower in decibels compared to, again, that same LiXiang breeze in our little test. Let's accelerate a bit more one more time. Right now, as we look at the speedometer, we are going 87, well, fluctuating between 86 and 87 kilometers per hour. I would really like to point out to you that even when we are turning, for instance, there was just a sharp 90-degree turn back there, and I deliberately took it a bit faster than usual. The car simply does not lean, not at all. It stays remarkably flat through the corner. But again, it is important to remember that we are currently driving in the dedicated asphalt mode, and we have the lower suspension setting engaged right now. This combination provides us with maximum stability on this particular road surface. The car's driving dynamics are exceptionally responsive and incredibly agile, and you can truly feel that even though you're behind the steering wheel of a substantial and heavy vehicle, it's certainly not small. It still handles remarkably well and with great precision. First, the suspension setup. The car feels large but handles effortlessly. It isn't floaty, so you don't have to constantly catch it. There's no fear about its size or stopping power. Also, the 2-piston brakes are surprisingly effective. It stops dead in its tracks, there's no lingering delay. What else? As for the rest of my impressions, I'm satisfied. Satisfied with the ride, satisfied with the car's handling, its braking, its functionality. Basically, it has everything you need for a comfortable drive. I don't feel cramped here. I feel good. I feel comfortable. Given my height and weight, I'll repeat, I'm 178 centimeters tall and weigh 100 kilograms. There's plenty of space for me here. It's comfortable and nothing feels tight. So everything I need is here. Everything you need for driving is here. The functionality is quite extensive, even huge. Everything that's necessary is present. The rear view mirror, as we mentioned, has a built-in camera. If you want, you can turn it off. There's a button up here at the top. There you go, it's on. Everything else is great. It's just as comfortable and convenient for the passengers in the back. But again, I should mention, this is the 7-seater version. The 6-seater version hasn't arrived yet. Once it does, I'd like to take a look at it, compare it, and show it as well. We'll show you the interior, what kind of captain's chairs will be in the back once the car arrives. Overall, I'm satisfied, I'm happy. Everything is minimalist, but everything you need is here, even though it's all kept to a minimum. By the way, my t-shirt color happens to match the color of the car's interior. That wasn't intentional, it's just a coincidence. There are 14 speakers here. The sound system is good. We've tested it, but we won't do it now so the camera doesn't pick it up. The regular adaptive cruise control only works on highways. Unfortunately, it's not designed for city driving. Let me correct myself a bit. I was mistaken about the regeneration. Now, at higher speeds, the regenerative braking here is much stronger than on the Leaf. You can really feel it. There is a downside though. Right now it's evening 16:44. We're heading back from the store. I'm going home. And how much? So without the head-up display, it's a bit harder to drive. Either you get so used to it that you keep looking there all the time, or it just makes driving so much easier for the driver that without it, it becomes a bit difficult. The reason you keep turning your head here is because there are so many interchanges, exits, entrances, turns, and junctions that sometimes you really need to see them. Because the way people drive in China, I think, maybe not many people know this, but the traffic here is very dense. The Chinese never yield. If you want to change lanes to the left or right or enter somewhere, they will never let you in. They will drive right up to the car in front of them, but they won't let you through. They'll get into an accident, they'll just stand there. Accidents are normal for them, it's just how it is. So sometimes having to turn your head to see where the exit or turn is makes things a bit more complicated without the head-up display on the windshield. So that's a downside, that's a minus, that's all. Everything else in principle is fine. Well, it's finally time to look under the hood. There we have a 1.5 liter hybrid engine. By the way, it's a series hybrid, just like the Koleos. Look, everything is covered up. The gasoline generator here has a power output of 150 horsepower. The electric motor here produces 476 horsepower. It accelerates from 0 to 100 in 5.5 seconds. From 0 to 100. There's also protection here, by the way. Take a look, there's insulation. So, what do you think? Is this car worthy or not? Personally, I believe it is. At the very least, it deserves a like. At most, it deserves a recommendation to your friends. And ultimately, it might even be worth buying for yourself. So if you liked it, if it caught your interest, we can bring it in for you anytime. Tomorrow, the day after, whenever you want. Even though today is already January 5th or 6th, we'll deliver it. We can send it to you as soon as tomorrow or the day after. There's no need to wait 180 days, which is a big plus. If you want to make a purchase, all the contact information and links are below, so check them out. Also subscribe to our Telegram channel. We post news there frequently. We want to take this moment to thank you, especially those who like our videos, those who watch us, and those who find our content helpful. We strive to be useful for you, so thank you. Giving us a like is easy, recommending us is easy too, but for us it means a lot. We do our best and we want to do even more, but we also need to know that our efforts are not in vain, that they matter. So, thank you very much. If you want to order a car, China Autach, Opas company is always with you, always in touch, always online. Spare parts are not a problem either. We'll always bring them here and deliver them, but only original parts. So write to us, call us, reach out, take care of yourselves. Thank you all and goodbye.